poignant Christmas message from King Charles. As the royal family gathered at Sandringham for the first time since the Queen's death, the King used his first Christmas speech to pay tribute to his late mother.
Christmas is a particularly poignant time for all of us who have lost loved ones. We feel their absence at every familiar turn of the season.
Also ahead, the innocent victim of a pub shooting. A woman is killed while out with family on Christmas Eve. Plus, from a bomb shelter to the London stage, a dream come true for the Ukrainian girl who won hearts around the world.
This is ITV News with Duncan Golestani.
Good evening. King Charles has used his first Christmas broadcast to pay tribute to his beloved mother. Recorded in St George's Chapel in Windsor, standing close to the late Queen's final resting place, the King reflected on a Christmas without loved ones. His message also referred to times of great anxiety and hardship for families. Here's our royal editor, Chris Shipp.
The Christmas morning scene at Sandringham was so familiar, yet without Queen Elizabeth, so very different. They still gathered en masse at 11 o'clock. The crowds were still there as the royals went to church in St Mary Magdalene. But leading the family today was the King and Queen Consort, with William and Kate and their 3 children close behind. And a surprise appearance from Prince Andrew after he settled his legal case earlier this year. Allowed to attend the service today on the right here, but he was either told to keep a little distance or did it anyway. But the passing of the Queen meant this family and many parts of the nation today sat down to a different Christmas broadcast at 3 o'clock. His first ever Christmas message to the nation and Commonwealth was recorded at Windsor, in the chapel which is the final resting place of his father and now his mother.
I'm standing here in this exquisite chapel of St George at Windsor Castle, so close to where my beloved mother, the late Queen, is laid to rest with my dear father. Christmas is a particularly poignant time for all of us who have lost loved ones. We feel their absence at every familiar turn of the season and remember them in each cherished tradition.
But in a year which has seen war return to a country in mainland Europe and an economic crisis at home, the King praised the community spirit which is helping those who, this year in particular, are very much in need.
At this time of great anxiety and hardship, be it for those around the world facing conflict, famine or natural disaster, or for those at home finding ways to pay their bills and keep their families fed and warm, we see it in the humanity of people throughout our nations and the Commonwealth who so readily respond to the plight of others.
Royal Aid said the King's reference to families keeping fed and warm was a statement of fact rather than a comment on politics. But there was no comment from the King on his own family's politics.
The Prince and Princess of Wales recently visited Wales, shining a light on practical examples of this community spirit.
A reference to William and Kate's work, but no mention by the King of his other son Harry and daughter-in-law Meghan. The King's broadcast was recorded in between the 2 releases of Harry and Meghan's Netflix series earlier this month. 2022 was a year of great change for the monarchy. Next year will see a coronation of a sovereign for the first time since 1953. But with Prince Harry's memoirs due out in January, the peace and goodwill of the festive period is unlikely to last very long into 2023 for this royal family. Chris Shipp, ITV News.
And to watch the King's speech in full and for more on the rest of the day's news, head to ITVX and scroll down to ITV News. The Archbishop of Canterbury has also paid tribute to the late Queen in his annual Christmas sermon. Justin Welby went on to reference the desperate struggles on hospital wards and immense anxiety caused by the cost of living crisis. Meanwhile, some 70,000 people packed St Peter's Square to hear the Pope. He prayed for millions of Ukrainians who have been left without power or heat after 10 months of war. Police believe a woman killed in a Christmas Eve pub shooting was not the intended target of the attack. The 26-year-old was with family and friends on Merseyside when she was hit. 4 men were also hurt in the incident. One of them is in a critical condition. From Wallasey, Ian Woods sent this report.
The evidence of what was supposed to be a Christmas Eve celebration. Glasses and bottles sitting on tables where customers had been drinking when the shots rang out. The lighthouse was busy with young people. A neighbour heard the shots.
I heard bang, 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 bang 4 times. It was just police cars everywhere. Kids, well, teenagers, but it was very, very quiet. There was no shouting or screaming. It was just people, poor kids walking up here, hugging each other.
Wallasey MP Angela Eagle called the death of the 26-year-old victim heartbreaking, while the leader of the local council said it was nothing less than despicable.
The police say they don't believe she was deliberately targeted. She was with her sister and her friends when she was shot in the head.
The shooting comes just 4 months after the killing of Olivia Pratt-Corbell just across the River Mersey. The 9-year-old girl was shot dead inside her own home in a crime which shocked the entire country. Now Merseyside police are again investigating the murder of an innocent bystander.
What her family are now going through is incomprehensible. Merseyside Police specially trained family liaison officers are there with the family now and will continue to support them. At this stage of the investigation, we are trying to establish the motive and the circumstances surrounding this callous shooting.
One of those injured is said to be in a critical condition in hospital. The pub should have been hosting Christmas lunch for customers today. Instead, it will remain a crime scene until at least Boxing Day. Ian Woods, ITV News, Merseyside.
The family of a woman who died after being hit by a police car in Liverpool on Christmas Eve have paid tribute to their cherished daughter and sister. Rachel Louise Moore was hit at around 8 o'clock last night. Merseyside Police said the police watchdog, the IOPC, have attended the scene. At least 29 people are now believed to have died in a major winter storm that has swept across North America. The event, known as a bomb cyclone, has left millions without power as temperatures reach lows of -45 degrees. Travel across the continent has been left in chaos, from the Great Lakes near Canada to areas along the Mexico border. Officials say the storm may be one of the worst in history. The worst hit area has been Buffalo in upstate New York. Next, with cases of viruses soaring this Christmas, parents have been told to watch out for symptoms of RSV, a respiratory infection. With immunity at its lowest after the pandemic, doctors are warning that rates are on the rise. Our science editor, Deborah Cohen, went to learn about a new trial which doctors hope could prevent the most serious cases of RSV.
4-year-old Aria Burleson is a happy, healthy little girl. But when she was 12 days old, her parents noticed something wasn't right.
She had what seemed like a bit of a cold, so she was sniffly, she was sneezing, coughing a bit, and I noticed that she was, finding it more difficult than normal to breathe.
Aria had bronchiolitis caused by the virus RSV, and she was admitted to hospital.
RSV is a very common virus, and in most cases it causes a mild illness with cold-like symptoms. But for some babies it can lead to serious lung infections, and it's the most common cause of hospitalisation in young children, with 26,000 being admitted to hospital with RSV each year.
This year, hospitals are struggling to cope with the number of children coming in with it.
What we've seen through COVID, we think, is that where there was this prolonged period where no one was getting infected, the rates of population immunity have fallen to lower than we would normally expect. And that means that when the viruses come back, there's less immunity to help control transmission.
Pick a seat wherever you're more comfy and wherever
And
you
now
like to put
here
these lovely
at Royal
listeners lovely
Southampton
little
Hospital in
leaves.
Southampton, they're trialling a new antibody treatment called nirsevimab to see if it stops babies going into hospital with RSV. Twins Ellie and Jess are in the trial, but only Jess got it. The drug has been approved, but the NHS needs more evidence before it decides to roll it out.
The treatment is giving the antibody to the baby, so they're protected from the point that they have the injection. In terms of an individual baby's health, this treatment could have quite a big impact, and so wider than that, if we see that on, across a lot of babies, then that is where we're going to have a big effect on the NHS.
And hopefully it'll mean children like Aria won't suffer in the same way next winter RSV season. Deborah Cohen, ITV News.
And finally, a young Ukrainian girl who won hearts around the world when a video of her singing in a bomb shelter went viral has received the ultimate Christmas surprise. 8-year-old Emilia Anisovich was asked to perform on stage at ITV's New Year concert, but little did she realise her heroes were waiting in the wings. Natalia Horkera has the story.
8-year-old Emilia melted hearts across the world when she performed Frozen's Let It Go whilst sheltering from Russian attacks in a bunker in Kyiv. After fleeing her war-torn country, crossing the border into Poland with her brother and grandmother, her dreams of singing have become a reality. Emilia was invited to perform Ukraine's national anthem in front of thousands at a charity concert in Poland. But most recently, she's performed for ITV's New Year's Eve Big Bash. Emilia was even surprised on stage by the real-life Elsa. But Emilia's biggest present of all will be when she's reunited with her whole family for Christmas. Her and her mother are travelling back to Ukraine to be once more reunited with her father, who she didn't think she'd be able to see until after the war was over. Natalia Horkera, ITV News.
And that is the perfect way to end this bulletin from the whole team here at ITV News. Thank you for watching, and we wish you a very happy Christmas. Good night.